Hello and welcome back to SpriteGuard Plays Roguelight. We are getting very close to the end, and so I want to just head right in there and see if we can take on the boss. We're going to be doing kind of a little bit more of a safer run where we're not going so much for coins. We still might light some lanterns just to show where we have been, but we're going to be trying pretty hard to conserve arrows. I will also go after lanterns if we know that we have the arrows available to us. So here we have 3 arrows available to us, but I'm going to be... Oh dear, I picked the wrong time to make that jump. Alright, that's not how I wanted that to go, but we have some health right here, so that helps us out. We can get those 2 at once, and that gives us quite a few coins. So if we have opportunities to grab coins, we're not going to turn them down, but we're not going to primarily be hunting for coins. We're going to be trying to find our way to the exit as easily as possible. Lots of hearts there, no exit, so we're going to have to come along here. Oh, and that was some clumsiness, so now we actually want those hearts. So I'm going to shoot that guy because we have to come through here a couple more times. There we go. And we do have, we should keep in mind that we do have the Will-o'-the-Wisp. So we don't even have to expend arrows for light, necessarily. Now, one thing that lanterns are really good for is showing you where you've been. Here we have these piles of clothing that will do the same job, but if we get other places where we want to remind ourselves, like this actually looks like the exit. There we go. So we're on to level 2, still got a full stockpile, and let's just wait for Will-o'-the-Wisp. There we go. So I am kind of developing a sense, and it's not a great sense, but I am developing one for where the exit's going to be. It generally feels like levels are laid out fairly linearly. If we go back to the start here, there's a wall on one side. And once we head over to the left here, it can actually spread out quite a bit with paths going up and down and dead ends like this. Actually, we might be able to do some cleverness here if we time it right. There we go. Okay, so those fell onto the spikes, so they're not very useful to us. But we managed to get both the ghoul and the lantern at the same time. So this is actually a good lantern to light, because this is going to show us kind of that we've been back here, and we know that what's down here is a dead end, and so we're going to be trying to go up. And it feels like the thing generally to do is to go up high and kind of try and get over the level. That has been the most direct route to the exit that I have found in a lot of levels. That's not always the case, but like here we've gone up and over, and there's the exit, so it seems like it is working out really well. I do want to grab that coin, though. We're full on hearts, full on arrows. Let's go. So level 3 is going to be a little bit darker, a little bit more dangerous. Going to have to be a little bit more careful. So this is the exit, so I'm going to light this lantern, and I'm going to be really conscious about trying to remember that the exit, I lit a lantern directly above the exit. That will fill us up on some arrows. That's kind of a blind drop, and we've dropped onto a ghoul, which is not great. So we will be once again on the lookout for some hearts. Those coins seem like more risk even than I'm willing to take right now. You know, they're not very risky, but oh, there they are. So we found our way to them eventually. But I do want to make my way along here really carefully. A lot more cautious and a lot more conscious than I usually do this, because I want to have a better shot at fighting the boss. We did manage to reach the boss last time while doing more of a point-pressing, risk-taking run. There might be hearts down here. Ah, no, it's just a coin. Sometimes those little alcoves have hearts in them. And I am getting to the point where I could recognize, oh, I saw this and I thought, oh, I know that's an alcove. So it's definitely possible to develop a sense of kind of the layouts, the way that the maps are generated, kind of a map sense. It's something that it's an idea that I first encountered when I was watching a lot of competitive Binding of Isaac. And in that game, it's a really big deal if you can predict where the secret room will be without actually going into it. Good to remember that heart's there, because we did take some damage. I believe we have one more brightness. I can't remember if whether or not we have one more brightness upgrade, but if we do, that's something that I will really want to get, because we're running out of brightness a little bit too quickly. So we have lots and lots of arrows available to us. We could use this as a farming opportunity here. And I think I'm going to do that because I do want to unlock some things. And we are very far behind pace right now. I've been playing so safe that we have very few coins. And we're not going to be able to get much of anything at the end of the game unless we are really lucky later on. So I do want to look out for opportunities when we can do a little bit of point pressing that isn't really risky, because here we know where we're going to replenish all of our arrows. We know that that's available to us. And now I'm getting just a little bit impatient and using my arrows to light the way, which is not the best idea. But that was a magic arrow, so we are totally fine. Now, I did see a skeleton up here, so I want to be on the lookout for that. See if we can lure it down here, please. Skeleton, please. Okay, there we go. Got you. Gonna shoot that guy just for the safety. And then shoot that one just to let us know where we've been. And now we're pretty much running out of the arrows that were down here. We have 2 more. But I think that's it, so we're going to be once again a little bit on the lookout for arrows, though I think we're doing all right. So this is an area where I feel like we could have, if we're getting up, we keep getting up like this. I think it's really promising. Now the thickness of that wall there makes me think that the exit is probably not in that direction, though this walkway up here kind of makes me think that it's worth a look. Maybe it's just the wall is really thick, but then we come over here and we find our way over it. And it looks like, well, we've at least found more of the level. Yeah, this looks like an exit. And we are on, is that level 5? So we're proceeding through the game pretty slowly, despite heading directly for exits, just because I'm being so cautious. And this is kind of a different way of playing than I'm used to playing. It's a different way than I usually play. And it is, it's really enjoyable trying a different style of playing the game than what I'm used to. It's very easy to kind of sink into a routine and start doing things the same way every time, because that's the way that you're familiar with, and so it becomes the way that it's easiest to do things. We can shoot this skeleton without a lot of worry because we have all of these arrows over here. This climb upward seems really promising. We can just clear that ghoul out of the way. It looks like we're hitting... nope, not even hitting the end of the line. Actually, it looks like we have found yet another exit for ourselves. So on to level 6. With only 100 coins, that's kind of a shockingly low score. I think we should be able to get something at the least. But this is going to be... Oh, I think we're in actually one of the in-between areas. So we should look around here and see if there's anything we can find. There's some arrows. So, we can take a look, launch some arrows into the darkness, see if there's anything to grab, but there was not. But we're full on arrows and full on health going into level 6, which is better than we can usually say. And so we'll just be trying to make our way along. And I didn't actually check whether or not there was a wall over there. So, I still kind of leave open the possibility that there are some generators that we don't know about. Because, I've been playing this game for a while, but I haven't been playing it for a really, really long time. I did play it before I started this series. I played it quite a lot. I beat the boss once. And so, I do have some familiarity with it, but it's still something that I am learning and getting more and more familiar with. One day, I really hope that I will be able to take on the boss really consistently and really point press aggressively. But for now, let's take on the boss. We have made it here at least. And we don't really have time to wait for our will-o'-the-wisp. It looks like we've fallen into maybe another in-between area, because I don't see the level milepost. And yeah, it looks like we're in quite a large in-between area. That's interesting. So let's wait for our will-o'-the-wisp and see if we can get it as low as possible before we drop down. But there we go. Okay, so here we are. Level 7, no time to wait for our will-o'-the-wisp, we just have to stay on the move. And we're going to be taking a lot of damage from skeletons. Okay, we can get over this guy like that. There are some arrows there, that is good to keep in mind. Though it's very difficult to navigate in this area. I have a very hard time finding my way around, and so it's going to be very difficult to get back to that. Very tight jump over that guy. No time to fight that skeleton, unfortunately. But we're getting lots of coins. Not seeing a lot of hearts, not seeing... we're seeing a few arrows. Okay, I'm playing very badly, and I've taken too much damage, so we got a couple of hits. I kind of panicked at the end there, and did not make wise choices, so, becoming kind of more confident at navigating in the boss level is something that I really need to work on. And just kind of being able to make quick decisions when there are a lot of enemies on the screen, because that's not something that I'm used to seeing. And I need to kind of have a little bit more presence of mind as I go into a situation. Usually what I do is I go into a situation and I stop, and then I look around. And I think one thing that will really help out is if I can learn how to be looking around and assessing the situation as I'm moving into it. So let's see if we can buy anything. It looks like we have very little that we can buy. We can buy a speed upgrade. We cannot afford the brightness upgrade. And we can get a double arrow upgrade. So I think I'm going to go for the speed upgrade. We still have a couple more things that we need to unlock, but I'm really glad that I got a chance to kind of play the game in a different way. Really focus on safety. Next time around, we'll have to kind of see how I'm feeling at the time, but I think because we have just a few more things to unlock, it might be worthwhile to go back and really try and point press and just see how many points we can get and see if we can close out the last few things that we need to get. And of course, the +1 coins from enemies will help that out once we manage to unlock that. So, all that is coming up in the future. Until then, thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.